Plaintiff Kenneth Thomas started a motorcycle club in 1993, and currently it is the largest African-American motorcycle club in the world. Kenneth claims the defendant was a member, but he stopped showing up to their events, and he failed to return 5 patches, so he's suing. Defendant William Davis Jr. says after he started riding motorcycles and saw how much attention he got from the ladies, he was hooked. William claims he stopped going to the club events because he fell ill, but he never wanted to quit, and that's why he held on to the property.
All right, start with you.
Judge Mathis, I started a motorcycle club in 1993, and that club was here in Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
That club grew within the first year to be the largest motorcycle club here in Chicago, and it has since grown to be the largest African-American motorcycle club in the world.
All right. How many did you have by the second year? Just curious, how many members?
We had a little over 100, Your Honor.
Okay.
Some chapters, you must have at least 10 members to even form a chapter. So it could be
Is there a particular association you all have?
Yes, collectively, we're known as the National Association of Buffalo Soldiers and Troopers Motorcycle Club.
Love it.
The reason why, Your Honor, I started the club is because I was a Chicago police officer, and I knew that I couldn't be associated with any clubs that had a negative image. Mm-hmm. And I wanted people to respect us, be proud of us. And so what I did is our club, what we do is we ride, we educate, and we give back to the community.
All right.
Those are the 3 tenets of our club, and it remains today. That club, as I stated, was started in 1993. This is our 29th year.
Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Sir, you can give us a background on your friendship, your association with the club, and what your experience has been?
Yes, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, yes, I grew up here in Chicago, in Inglewood community, one of the roughest communities in Chicago.
I do work over in Inglewood, I know, with your councilwoman, Alderwoman Stephanie Coleman.
Coleman, yes, sir. Mm-hmm. So my neighbor, he had a motorcycle, and every night he would take his motorcycle in the house. We would carry it up the stairs and take it right in the house because he wanted everybody to steal it. After doing that for a while, one day he asked me, did I want to learn how to ride? And I said, yeah. He would run down the street, change gears, do this. Once I learned how to ride, he let me go by myself. He said, take it around the block. Once I took it around the block, as I was riding and all the women, excuse me.
That's right.
I was hooked. So
you say that's how you get the whistles from the ladies.
So I was like,
motorcycle, all right.
I was very interested, but like as I got older and got in early in my teens, it was during the Vietnam conflict, so they had a draft going on. So instead of getting drafted, I just joined the Marine Corps, got sent overseas. When I was overseas, there was that was the basic form of transportation was motorcycles. So I watched them a lot, I rode a little bit. When I got back stateside and I was able to afford to buy my own bike, I bought my own bike and I rode it back and forth to work. I worked as a union carpenter for like 27 years. So as I was
money there, Doc.
So as I was working there, I was able to buy whatever I wanted to buy.
That's what I said.
So
good money.
I was pretty much doing what I wanted to do. And right around 2010 or 2011, I ran to an old friend of mine, and she told me that she was joining a motorcycle club. And she explained to me about the Buffalo Troopers and what they stood for and what they represented. And I said, wow, that's great. I want to be one. I'm like, how can I join too? She told me, she introduced me to Ken, or we call him Dream. She introduced me to him.
What do you call him?
Dream.
The Dream!
Plaintiff Kenneth Thomas started the largest African-American motorcycle club in the world, and he's suing a former member for failing to return club property.
The Dream! Boy!
It was me. I went to the initiation.
Nickname like that.
Yeah. And I was accepted into the club. So I did my probationary period for a year, which during your probationary period, you have to do so many rides and attend so many events. And
what type of events?
Some of them were like charity events or like memorial rides for like different fallen African-American heroes like Harold Washington, and we do, different events. So I fulfilled my obligation during my probationary period and was awarded my center patch. So every year they have a black tie affair. So during the black tie affair is when they give you a center patch. It was a really proud moment for me to obtain that center patch. It was something I really wanted to do. Once I got it, it's like, man, I felt whole, like a Buffalo Trooper. And I was there for 6 years before I actually got hurt. Well, I didn't actually get hurt. My cartilage in my body just started going away. First, it started with my left foot. And when that happened, I informed the club that, I had surgery on my left foot and I was going to be out for a while.
Well, let me see what this is about, really, because I'm confused. You wouldn't give somebody their motorcycle back? He took your motorcycle?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Well, what's happening?
Colors is the patch that you wear on the back of your vest. Item
It's
2.
the colors. Let's explain. The colors that you wear on the back of your vest?
Yes. Our club and many clubs in the United States and over and throughout the world, it represents the patch. There are 5 pieces to this particular patch. Of course, the top, the bottom, the MC, and then the center patch. These are what's known as colors in the motorcycle community. They're also called cuts or rags, but for our purposes, they're known as colors. And essentially, we haven't gotten the colors back.
So once
When you leave
someone
the
is
club,
awarded colors as part of their dedication or commitment or probation or the things that they do they don't get to keep them?
no, they don't. You become a full member when you pass probation. And of course, you wear your colors representing your club. Mm-hmm. When you leave the club, whether you're voted out, whether you voluntarily leave the club, you must return the colors.
If you don't ride, can you still stay in the club?
Actually, you can, but you have to be, that's something that has to be voted on.
Right, and if he said, I have a health condition that prohibits me from riding, then you all, I'm sure they would have said, yeah, you can stay in.
Sir, that wasn't explained.
That's what I'm saying. Now, he didn't, perhaps, but I'm just trying to let you say it so that y'all can just keep your reputation because you're about to hurt the club's reputation. The man said he had to leave because he got injured and his cartilage was destroyed. And you say, well, I want my stuff back. When you should, as you just said, you all do consider health, and I'm glad I asked that, and that you said there is an avenue to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Called communication.
All right, so what happened with communication issues?
Was not.
That's not true.
Hold on. So one day he's a member, right?
Right.
Has his patches. Is he still riding? I'm talking about the last experience you all had with him. Was he riding still?
No.
He was injured. Was he coming to meetings or something?
No. No, sir.
Last time he communicated with the club was when, approximately?
I'm going to say in 2018.
And that was in what manner? What was discussed or concluded, or he was just a regular
club meeting?
Regular meeting. Okay, sir, what do you say?
So once I did get injured, once I had my first surgery, I sent an email, well, not an email, but a text over to the president and the vice president.
What year?
2018. Mm-hmm. I sent the text actually showing them the scar that was on my foot. Mm-hmm. And I have here, they asked me what happened. I told them. They told me to take a leave of absence, which I did. And so I took a leave of absence. So after that injury got better and I went through the therapy for that injury, my doctor recommended that I do the other foot because that cartilage was deteriorating as well. So I did the other foot. I did reach out and tell them that I could not attend meetings at that time. It was a long gap since I had talked to them until early this year in 2022. When I did talk to Ken at that time.
How did that communication come about?
I think he called me and we talked.
Okay.
Plaintiff Kenneth Thomas started the largest African-American motorcycle club in the world, and he's suing a former member for failing to return club property.
But did you know the rules were to return the patches?
The rules were to return the patches.
Why
but
didn't you?
I told him, Ken, I really don't want to not be a Buffalo Trooper.
You don't want to follow the rules.
I really love this club, and I want to be part of what this club stands for. And I'm like, Ken, if I could, I'd rather just give you my whole vest. And then when I get to 100%, you just give me my vest back instead of me cutting the colors off the back of my vest and giving them to you.
Sounds reasonable.
I sent him an email, and in the email I just told him, I said, it's with a heavy heart that I surrender my colors to the club because I still want to be a part of it. And I have the email here in my paper.
So did you know that there's a possibility that you could have remained had you appealed to the board with your medical condition? I mean, the board, is there a process that you might have known of?
I didn't know of any process.
You have the bylaws?
I do have the bylaws. I read the bylaws. I didn't see anything about medical. I only see about leave of absence. Oh. And that's the only thing I saw in there was leave of absence.
Y'all need something about medical more than any other club. I mean, y'all riding motorcycles. You definitely need a clause in there about getting hurt.
I really was proud of being a Buffalo Trooper. Not just being a Buffalo Trooper, but being from the mother chapter, which was Chicago. See, we do events everywhere. Like you said, the club has grown enormous. We ride St. Louis, Detroit, Alabama, Wisconsin, New Mexico, you name it, there's a chapter. We go everywhere. And when we go there, just to have the Buffalo Trooper with the Chicago rocker on the bottom was phenomenal. And I mean, I loved every minute of it.
Did he offer to give you the vest and then get it back when he was prepared? And why wouldn't you accept that?
Your Honor, he did not offer to give me the vest. I offered William an opportunity to turn in the colors and tell him maybe 6 months down the road, you can reapply to come back into the club. He did not deny that he was going to turn in his colors.
You knew the man had a health problem. Why y'all so stringent? You should have come up with the idea. If he didn't, you should have said, hey, man, this is what we need to do. Take it before the board.
He told me he had some problems, he had some health issues. I said, you still have to turn in your colors. Best, now this is going over a number of years. I told him, if you turn in your colors, 6 months down the road, you can reapply. You can reapply to come into the club. I didn't think that was unreasonable, since we're talking about a number of, as he stated, a number of time in which there was no communication.
And when was this that you offered the 6 month?
Right, I would say about 3-4 months ago when we talked. He called me.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, what do you have to say to that?
No, I did. I called him and I told him, I said, Dream, I know, what the policy is, but, and I'm going through a whole lot, but I'm like, I'm almost at the end of that road. And I like to just come back to the club when I get whole. I had numerous surgeries. I had one surgery left, which was to restore the nerves in my hand. And once that was done, I felt like
I'm not going to let y'all put this man out this club. Well, I don't have authority over that, but what's the money for?
Yeah.
Money is the evaluation for the logo, the club patch.
Evaluate what?
The club, the club. Every member of this organization pays dues, and that was done by an outside agency that evaluates your worth.
What does he need to do to get his patches back?
He does. He still got the patch.
I have his patches. I'm gonna give it back to him right now.
Why?
Because he wants them back.
What can he do to not give them back?
Nothing.
He has to be approved back into the club.
Yes, he can, Your Honor, he can get back in the club, and we're not adversarial. We didn't have any issues. But your patch, this was the problem. If you're wearing that patch and you're not a part of our organization,
got it.
Anything could happen out there, and that's our brand. I
have a better understanding. You're right. You all have a great reputation. You do great things. Many motorcycle clubs don't, and many people don't. So, in that sense, kind of understand it now.
And I do understand. And I never, ever wore those patches since I've been out of the club, since I've been on medical, never. And we have every event we attend, we buy shirts with Buffalo Troopers. We buy jackets. I have rain gear to ride my motorcycle with. I have helmets with Buffalo Troopers on it. I've never worn not one emblem that belonged to the Buffalo Troopers. I haven't even been able to ride since I left the club. I'm more than willing to give him his patches back, but what my dream was to still be a member of the club.
What's the money for, sir? 5,000. How does he owe you? What is that for?
This was the evaluation. Our monies, any
Evaluation of
the club and the club property,
the patches. You want
yes.
5,000 for the patches.
for the trademark and for the patches and how they're used in our community. We give any monies, as a rule, we give the monies to scholarships towards.
Well, if you get your patches back, what is the damages he has caused?
You mean if I get it back or?
Today, yes.
Well, if I get the patches back, there's no damage that
There you go. Then there's no lawsuit.
There's no lawsuit. I wouldn't be here.
Oh.
All you had to do was get the patches back.
Okay.
We wouldn't be here today.
Okay, and now I'm asking you if you would help take him back before the board at some point, maybe even work with him. Will you help to try and get him re-enrolled?
Yes, sir. I stated that to him.
Okay.
He can apply.
6 months, you said.
Yeah, he can apply back to come back into our
And
organization.
you're pretty confident that he would be able to qualify?
As long as he can ride and do the things that's
ride?
required within our motorcycle.
And you still ride?
It's coming up to the point where
well,
I
no,
can.
how you gonna get in the club? You're doing all this and you not eligible for the
I
club.
will be able to, in about 6 months, be able to ride again. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, the good news is that you will be eligible to rejoin once you're able to ride. And you say that will be shortly, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. And what I'd like for you to do today, and to allow me to dismiss the claim, is you, because I don't want Doyle and nobody else to touch y'all patches. I think y'all appear to be doing things very special, which makes the patches very special.
These are.
And unless we contributing to that work y'all doing, don't touch your stuff.
These are special. They are.
Take them and hand them to your member, your fellow member. Tell them you'll see him in 6 months. All right, guys.
It's all good.
Thank you for all the work you guys have done.
Thank you very much, sir.
Claim dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. You know how deep I feel about the Buffalo Troopers. You know how many events that I try to attend, and it was just weird when I got hurt that nobody even after I informed the club that I was hurt, that nobody even reached out and said, hey, Will, can we go pick up your medicine or anything? And when I heard from everybody, it was like, give us our patches back. That's painful, man. That's really hurtful.
I don't have a beef with you.
No.
But our colors, it was obvious that they meant so much to him because he didn't turn them in. That's obvious. But you gotta turn in your colors when you're not active, man.